This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena, the decks for the Kaldheim Championship have been released. Like over 200 of the best players in the world are battling for the title of Kaldheim Champion this weekend. What did they bring to the party? They had to play Standard, they had to play Historic. Of course, the most played deck, Sultai Ultimatum. Second most played deck, Temur Adventures, which doesn't get played nearly as much in Best of One as it might deserve. Maybe it will now. Decks like Mono Red showed up big time. Rogues showed up big time. Mono White, not as much as it may have been expected. NAYA of various adventure sorts still showed up, but maybe not as much. But there are some people out there trying new things, playing different brews, and I'm going to explore them for probably most of the remainder of the metagame for Kaldheim as we approach the Strixhaven release. So I'm excited to bring you the first one of those today, CovertGoNetDecky. This comes from Jesse Samick, and this is NAYA tokens featuring Jegantha the Wellspring as a companion, and a lot of the things we've done with other tokens decks, but a few wrinkles. This particular version I am going to call the Retreat version because it has 4 copies of Felidar Retreat, helping go mega wide. We've seen that Clarion Spirit, Jaspera Sentinel, Showdown of the Skalds, the adventure cards like Lovestruck Beast, they crank out the little creatures. Well, putting a +1/+1 counter on those creatures and giving them vigilance is pretty epic. And of course, you can go wider and wider, making 2/2 Cat Beast tokens, which is the point of the deck. Hence, this version has 4 copies of the white enchantment that you may have forgotten about. It also has 2 copies of Bearer of Secrets to pay off all that expansion with card draw, 4 copies of Showdown of the Skalds, which is a key card advantage engine for the deck for it to keep going. In the Adventure Zone, there's only 2 red cards. There are 4 Showdowns and 4 Bonecrusher Giants, showing you the power of the Giant. Of course, if we're playing adventure cards like Giant and Lovestruck Beast, we should play Edgewall Innkeeper. There's also 4 Giant Killer and 1 Shepherd of the Flock to make Edgewall Innkeeper draw a ton of cards. We've seen Clarion Spirit and what it can do. Some of the flex spots, we've got 2 Kabira Takedowns, which is a good removal spell in a deck that can generate a ton of creatures. So that's a nice one. And then we also have a sideboard for best of 3. You best of 3 gamers may be able to run right out and play this. At the end, I'll talk about if there are any of what I would call one-boarding changes I would actually recommend for best of 1. In Best of 1, Sultai Ultimatum seems like a really popular deck, and in the field that this deck entered, Sultai Ultimatum is an insanely popular deck. So one question I have is, how does this deck compete with the Ultimatum deck without any way to counter the Ultimatum? Can it really put enough pressure on? Or after an Ultimatum resolves, can it still win somehow? That's the main question I have for the deck. It's possible that the Ultimatum matchup might be bad, but maybe we beat everything else as well. So that's the other thing we're going to keep an eye on with the deck. Do we soundly defeat the other enemies? The sideboard has 2 Redcap Melees for, I'm guessing, mono red, 2 Drannith Magistrate, which can help against the Ultimatum, Fire Prophecy, a generic kind of all-purpose removal spell, Shredded Sails can be removal against rogues or blow up an artifact, 3 Reidanes. Against the Ultimatum deck, this can be a very good card, taxing them to have to pay more to cast their Ultimatum, and then this, if they resolve it with this on the battlefield, it gets even worse. It's also very good against red, so in a format where red and Ultimatum showed up a lot, Reidane is queen. And then we have a Klothys, an Esika's Chariot, a Gemraiser, and an Ox to round out the sideboard, just powerful cards that come in matchups where you can be sure they have some targets. We're going to go play some games in Best of 1, and maybe at the end we'll have some suggestions for how to better tune the deck for Best of 1. This video is dedicated to John Martino. Thank you very much for becoming a Cool Kids Club member by hitting the join button down below. You get early access to the decks I'm going to play tomorrow. That's in a private Discord channel just for people who are members or Twitch subs or patrons. You also get the chance of having a video and a cosmetic for my collection dedicated to you. John is the lucky winner today. So let's get a sweet cosmetic in your honor. I think it's either Clarion Spirit or Felidar Retreat for me today, and I think Felidar Retreat has waited long enough to look good. So let's pick up this sweet one. So thank you very much, John Martino. Let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. 99%er versus 1429 on the play. 2 Sentinels, some adventures. Yorion. Time to see if this deck actually can perform. This is the matchup I fear. If it is, Sultai. Looks Sultai to me. I think we do it like this. I think this is better than 1 damage to get our tap land out of the way. All right. So I think the play is aggro giant because I think Lovestruck Beast will just get killed by Heartless Act or something of that nature. And at least if they kill the giant, then they have to take the damage. We're putting on pressure as fast as we can. Might be too slow though. A good removal spell here and they're not under that much pressure. Okay, it's Omen of the Sea. So if they cultivate here, we punish them with a pretty hefty attack. They keep one on top. Could really use a Felidar Retreat. That would be nice. There's the Heartless Act in its main phase. So it was coming. Okay, the draw is getting really bad really fast. We've completely flooded out from a good spot. Extinction event could be brutal. $80-card deck, but they just don't miss, do they? Ah, a late Edgewall Innkeeper. I don't know if holding back can do us any good, but I do want to save this for an adventure card. But yeah, that seems like the turn we just lost the game. Maybe what I could have done is... No, I mean, they Heartless Act to every decent-sized creature I played. We never really took time off. Now we're just thumped by the Chariot. Oh no. There's the retreat, though. Is it in time? Man, this was like 1 turn late, right? So if they power up the Chariot and block something, then they take a lot. I guess that's worth it. Man, I feel like this was 1 turn late. Down to 3. Do we have haste or anything like that? We have Skalds, we have Bonecrusher Giant. That's almost there. I guess we have to draw Skalds. Skalds might get us in the game. Okay, that's not an ultimatum. They do keep on top though, so they're probably not dead. I mean, if they power up the Chariot and attack and make a copy, they're down 2 blockers, so I don't think they can do that. They go for an intervention to go to 6, okay? We don't draw the land. I don't think we have a good attack here. I think we have to say go. I guess if the opponent, if they power this up, they go, yeah. If we attack here, they power up block 1, go to 3, and then they're in the same situation again, potentially, but we lose one of our 3/3s. So I'm going to pass. Free omens. Good lord. Every single one they found something on top. Every single time. This is 2 to the top. I guess we are dead. Eliminate. Erebos' intervention. Heartless Act. Heartless Act. At least it hasn't been a sweeper. There's a land. Send those. Chumps, chumps. Okay. Untapped land equals ultimatum. Let's see how it ends. Can't give them the epiphany. They can get Yorion and blink all this, and we definitely lose. Feel like we tried. We just drew, like, we were a card away. So it was closer than I thought it would be. But we just, like, too many lands in that one stretch. If we had had a good follow-up the turn we bought Jegantha, we would have been okay. Opponent gets out the rope. Life is hard.
Let fire rage within your heart.
Well, they don't get anything from it exactly, and that's a land. All right. I don't know how the heck it plays this matchup. And this matchup is so best of one common, I don't know if I can tolerate it. Lurrus this time. So we're getting a Who's Annoying of standard. Little rogues, a little Yorion. The reason I really dread, and I mean I absolutely dread logging into MTG Arena every day these days. But we fight anyway. We fight on and do our best. I'm hoping this deck just sautés rogues by going super wide. They can't really deal with retreat, so flooding out isn't as dangerous. If this is the Crippling Fear version, it could be a lot harder. Let's see what happens. See if they play anything for the Giant. Probably not, but worth giving it a second. Who knows what they'll do. Okay, we're gonna get the retreat down. That's pretty good. I think we hold the Giant then. It can tag the crab. If we're not playing it next turn, we may as well hold it. Unless they're gonna play something else. Okay, they give us a target. How about that? Maybe they wanted that. I'm not sure. Somebody go break this person's computer. Man. All right. I think we have to at least create a creature. We can play a Bonecrusher Giant too. We can also play it pre-combat, so yeah, I think we're making a creature here so we can play this with that mana. We could attack and see if they block. They might. We could also play this and start putting counters on our creatures. That's not bad either. Just start beefing them up and getting them around Heartless Act. And then next turn these attack through the crab. Because it's better than making a 2/2 if you can put counters on your creatures, and we can try to get them out of the range of Crippling Fear. That is fine. That took their whole turn. They don't get to hold up counter spells, so we get to play this. We get to play this. Put a counter on everything. Get these two around Crippling Fear. And smash. Come here, Elk. Man, we buy Jegantha way too much with this deck, though. Because the deck just runs out of things to do so fast. So fast. Because we haven't drawn any card advantage, that's why. Alright, just getting crabbed. I can't even bear to look at how empty my deck has become. 28 cards. This is another, what, 12? You've got to be kidding me. So stupid. Oh, here come the manual taps. Here they come. Gotta have your Luris. Alright, another land, huh? Counter that. You coward. How low will you go? A block has been secured. Finally. Alright, we have to draw something that's not a land. We gotta keep the pressure on. Here comes a Thought Thief, okay. Here comes a One Mind, okay. Opponent's committed to hitting these land drops. They're committed to the mill plan. That was another set of land. Come on. Enough. Enough, deck. Enough. I've never drawn a Skalds or a Toski or a Clarion Spirit so far playing the deck. Now would be a good time to see something like that. Okay. You want to counter it? No? How about the other side? Okay. Is this where we make a 2/2 so our beast can still attack? I guess so. What you got? Surely they kept something available to get themselves through these Sentinels. Oh, we're just chumping? We didn't play Luris, though. You must have something. There it is. Took a minute, but we got there. Down to 2. Okay, if Luris blocks one of these... let's wait and see how it breaks down. Gonna need another good draw. Let's go. And Beast was not bad. Yeah, no kidding. Let's see if we can get their attention. Distract. This is esports after all, and Rogues is the absolute epitome of scum. Let's see if we can make them miserable. Interesting choice. Getting the Thought Thief. Why do you think that was? They must not have a land for the crab. But like the Windropper could draw. So that blows my mind. Giant Killer. Alright, so attack with everything. The opponent can put a Lurrus block here, gain 3 life, go up to 5. Then they block here, and they block here, and they go to 0. So that block doesn't work. Right? They block here, they block... Okay, they block here, they block here, they block here. They go to 5, they go to 0. Alright, then we can attack with all. Did they just leave themselves dead on board? Because the other blocks they can do is they can chump Lurrus in front of like the 5/5, gain 3, and they're not dead there either. Yeah, they can put the Thought Thief now in front of the 3/4. Blocking the 1/1's kind of sus. But you can do it. Like, this is death, so you can't do that. You can block the 2/2, right? No? Okay. Where's my thinking emote now? Ah, okay. Classic rogues. Burn all the time out, hit the thinking emote, do something stupid. Unlucky day so far. Have not drawn a Showdown or a Toski in a single game. And that trend continues, but I don't think I can mulligan it. It has Lovestruck Beast, which is an insane card, and the Sentinel, which is a great mana boost. But if I don't draw either of those cards ever, I will not win. That is a fact. My deck is basically running at half capacity. There we go. There we go. How you doing? I think we attack here. How you doing, little guy? I have missed you. It's been a long day without you, my friend. Our creatures are more valuable. We don't want to trade. Our opponent may be on Gruul. Looks like a little Bonecrusher here. We could slam the Toski, though. That gets the most out of the mana. Then what does the opponent do? They're going to play a Lovestruck Beast, which brick walls it forever. That's not good. See if they Bone Crush this in response. If they do, we'll make the mana. It does save them a point of damage. There you go. All right, we got the first beast. Unfortunately, it looks like our beasts just have to trade. We gotta draw something good. That's pretty good. We could attack first. See what the opponent wants to do. The idea here is we're gonna play retreat and make a cat. If they want to trade beasts, that's fine with me. But it probably means they don't have Embercleave or Henge to take advantage. Okay, they do trade beasts. Good to know. Now we could pump squad, but I think going wider is better with the Toski. Like, we can get up to 5 creatures. We can take down another beast. Oof. Rush fire. Okay. Opponent's big move is coming. Haha, take 5, they say. Okay. Ow. You gotta do better than that, though. What do I need? Another green, another white. Weirdo. I don't know. I still think the Sentinel's the biggest threat. That response was kind of strange. I'm curious what they were thinking there. All right, white. Create another 2/2. Toski, Bearer of Secrets. A +1/+1 counter on each creature we control and Vigilance. This also gives us the ability to take down the Brushfire. Opponent takes it all. That's some cards. Oh, this is what the deck was meant to do, guys. Oh my gosh, we're doing the thing really. It just got real. Took me a few games, but it just got real. Goldspan Dragon, huh? Have a treasure, but it's dead. Would have been a nice response if they still had the Fire Prophecy to kill something, but we would have had 5 creatures at that point. I definitely took a chance there that they didn't have Bonecrusher Giant, but I figured they've already played 2 things. Yeah, they're out of here. There's a Wood Elf standing between us and the numbers again. We've got an Edgewall Innkeeper, and this can get green. I guess we'll try it. Maybe turn 2 is Clarion Spirit? I don't know. This hand is awkward, though. It is awkward. No way around it. Draw a land, though, and we do cool things. I really don't know if I play this on white or red, though. Let's see what the opponent does. A green mana. A Swarm Shambler. Another land. Alright, so if they're playing green, we can probably run out an Innkeeper and then run out some beasts and just start drawing some sweet cards. See if anything they do helps us decide what land to fetch. It's kind of tough. I mean, it's white or red, and then this is also white or red, so it's not that bad, but... Have you a Blizzard Brawl? Do you want to brawl right now? No? They had to play a tap land on 2, that's good. And they don't have a Lovestruck Beast, that's good. There's a retreat. Alright, we need to hit our lands. Let's just run out a beast. No 1/1 required. We can make 1/1s other ways. Looking like we might get mana screwed. I'm scared. I'm kind of scared. Not gonna lie. Our opponent has 2/2'd the Swarm Shambler. How do we like the matchup with mono green? What are the things we have to be afraid of the most? Probably Great Henge. Can we go wider and stronger than Great Henge? I think it's possible. We do have to keep up, though. We have to hit our beats. That's another Kazandu Valley. Yeah, their hand is super awkward. Lucky for us. That's a good land. All right, how do we do it? I think we play both sides of this Lovestruck Beast, and then next turn, hopefully play a retreat and a land. Is that even great? I don't know. Maybe that can wait, too. I mean, we could take out the Swarm Shambler. They're going to want to pump it to a 3 here. Is 3, does that matter? Probably not. Probably not. Takes 5. Wow. I guess I'm not surprised by the take 5 at all. It's the play, but man, does Lovestruck Beast just chonk away. Like, dude hits so hard. Like, how do you fight this? Well, you gotta do better than tap land, tap land. Our opponents put a counter on the Swarm Shambler every turn, and it's not even close to the power toughness we have on the board. Felidar Retreat can turn off the Lovestruck Beasts. That's awkward. You have to watch out for that. Alright, the opponent plays their 5/5. If we had a way to make a 1/1 and also pump squad, that would be epic, but we don't. So I think this is going to be Clarion Spirit and Bonecrusher Giant to draw, and then next turn we can do like Felidar Retreat, pump everything, then play the other side of half a Bonecrusher Giant to make a 1/1 so we can attack after we pump the squad. I think that's the good play. We can do this after combat if we wish. We can send these first, offer trades. I don't think they want to trade. They probably have a henge. I don't know why they'd keep this hand without one. Look at all the tap lands. Okay, they're trading. I mean, maybe they just have to. They're so low on life already. Deck is exploding onto the battlefield for sure. Felidar Retreat is threatening to anthem the squad and make it better than their squad. Our opponent has 6 mana now, though, with Castle Garenbrig. Maybe there's a Vorinclex? That would be good against the Retreat. Maybe? Gemrazor on the Shambler. Ooh. I'm glad that Retreat is in our hand. Great henge. Okay. They're doing things. Stuff is happening. And a news. Okay, that's a good turn. That's a really good turn. How do we fight this? Let's go. Alright. So, put a counter on everything, they gain Vigilance. Now I cast this to make a 1/1 so the beast can still attack. Do we send squad? Alright, they're at 12. They can block here, and they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. They're not dead. Now, if instead of blocking the 2 biggest things, what if they put like Ooze on Edgewall Innkeeper and the 7/7 on the 6/6? They take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They are dead. So they have to make bad blocks. They have to make blocks that take away our beast, but they have to give up their Ooze, which is great. And they still take a ton of damage. And our Edgewall Innkeeper is free to attack. So let's go. That leaves you dead. They're gonna go through the, I guess, the same process we went through here. The blocks are forced. It's Bonecrusher or nothing. I think. 5, 6, 7. Oh, I guess, okay, Spirit lets you go to 1, but do you want to do that against the Flyers? I guess you have a Gemrazor. Maybe it doesn't matter. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. They're down with killing the Spirit. They're at 1. This takes them to 3. They need a big turn. Because I can put 5 in the air if the Retreat makes it. Mutating Gemrazor could get rid of it, but mutating onto this leaves 1 less blocker anyway, so it's not ideal. Opponent makes a ton of mana. This is it. They gotta do it. Can they get out of this? There's a Gemrazor. 2 reach creatures secured. 4 mana to go. A flurry of Stonecoil Serpents would help. Another Scavenging Ooze would be really good for them. Ooh, another henge. Yeah, they can make mana with this and gain 2 more life. Okay. Still 5 mana left, and now they go up to 5 life. Right now, though, they can go block, block, and they still die, so they need more. Another Gemrazor. I mean, that's another reach creature, so the flying doesn't matter much. Another Retreat. Oh, that's a lot of +1/+1 counters. Let's go. Oh, baby, baby. Do we put this out, or do we play the Bonecrusher Giant? All right. Block, 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 take, dead. Okay. I think they're just dead, so I don't think it matters. Play this just in case they have something for 1 green that I'm not thinking of. Get that card. All right, one more time. They block here. They block here. They block here. They take 7. Should be good. Retreat's going over the henge. Didn't think I'd see it, but it happened. The numbers! I'm back in the numbers. Next opponent. Not a Yorion on the draw, and we have Lovestruck Beast and Giant, so we keep. Giant Killer too. We can interact with all the things they might do, and hopefully draw a Showdown of the Skalds for the first time in 7 games? 8 games? I'm not sure. I've lost track. I could check my stats, but checking my stats makes me sad because I get honestly tilted by my play-draw ratio, and I'm trying to talk about it less. Looks like we get to play against white. So Bonecrusher... Hold on, I didn't do it right. Bonecrusher is ready. Goodbye, Luminart. Oh yeah, Bonecrusher Giant. Yeah. Don't know when I'm going to sneak out the Clarion Spirit. The hand has a lot going on. A lot of good going on. Alright, Daxos is here. Alcide is here. Squad Annoyance is here. Oh my goodness! It does exist. Let's get thick. Make the opponent figure out how to navigate the Lovestruck Beast. They might have a Giant Killer of their own. Should be annoying. Ta-da! Alright, they have protection from our Giant Killer, so I think playing Giant Killer is legit. We could also use a takedown here, right? We can take down for 3. Kill the Daxos. But wait, CGB, how do you take down for 3? I only see 2 creatures, CGB. I will show you. It makes a creature. Wah, wah, wah. Here we go. I play Lurrus. That's fun. All right. Let's play Showdown and get this thing cooking. Make sure we hit land drops here. Try to go up over the top and around this annoying little deck. All right. We have Shepherd of the Flock. What would we bounce here if we want to cast our second spell of the turn? I don't think we do anything. I think we just cast the Giant Killer. Hiya. The protection is too good. Like, the other side of Giant Killer just won't happen. They'll put a Sky Maul on something, it'll all fall apart. But this is pretty sweet. Having a tapper can be very helpful. Opponent just pogged out of their mind to get back their Luminarch Aspirant. So all of our creatures can get buffed eventually, but there's no reason to take damage and put ourselves in a position where they can use sacrifice effects to come back on us. So let's take some chump blocks. I think that's fine. We'll see. I think we're doing really fine. Oops. I was supposed to play the Felidar Retreat first. No, I have to play the Clarion Spirit first. I guess we're not going to sacrifice this yet. We can save it, right? We can play this and then the other land next turn, and we can play Spirit and Giant this turn. Okay. Seems good. Let's start boosting up some flyers. Although we're going to try to fly under the radar of the mighty giant killer throughout this experience by keeping things around like 3/3 level. All right, set stops at the beginning of the next turn because we have Showdown going off, and we're going to want to return it to our hand with the ability on the stack. Daxos returns. Opponent with that free graveyard value. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. It's so great. Here's the Alseed. Here's the Lurrus Pump. Here's the attack. So I don't think the Bonecrusher is ever getting in on the ground. We could block with it, make the opponent sack an Alseed, and then they can't use the Giant Killer on one of our things. And they've already gotten something back this turn, so they'd have to get it back next turn. It's pretty good. Could be worse. Okay, untap, draw. Giant Killer is here. Main, trigger. Shepherd of the Flock, the one of, ushering a Showdown to safety. Feels good. All right, that resolves, so we start getting +1/+1 counters. Let's play the Felidar Retreat. Where do we want all these? Resolve that. All right. This is fun. This is good times. Team, let's get squatted up. Oh man. Let's see, we can get another white and use the Giant Killer. The opponent could block for 3 to kill it. I guess that would be bad. So I don't know that I want to attack with the Giant Killer. Let's just stay airborne and keep this kind of simple. There isn't that much to gain on the ground here. Nice. All right, end the turn with Giant Killer up. Woo, that's a lot of damage. All right, Skyclave Apparition, what do you want? I guess you have to go after Retreat, right? Yep. We definitely got our money's worth out of the card. Okay, counter on the Lurrus. We'll try to tap the Lurrus. The opponent can give protection from white, but then they don't get the counter. The counter ability would fizzle. All right. They let it tap. I mean, okay. I guess they have a Giant Killer. That is true. If they tap out, I kill their Lurrus, though. It's so mean. Let's go. What you got? Another retreat, huh? Feels good. More spirits. I'm getting spiritual. All right, boom, 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 boom. What? Cacaw. Opponent didn't even tap one. Couldn't be bothered. So dead. So dead by a mile. Oh yeah. And we are back for the post-game wrap-up, and the deck did perform very well against everything that wasn't the Ultimatum deck, and my game against the Ultimatum deck, it felt like we flooded for just one turn. Like, we missed one beat to keep pressure on, and we lost there. To be fair to the Ultimatum player, they didn't have untapped land drop 7 to play Ultimatum for 2 turns. We should have been able to jump through that window. We didn't. And they, quite frankly, didn't have to give us that window. If they had a better draw, it would have never existed. So either way, I'm confident that matchup is very hard. In best of 3, Magistrate and Reidane go a little ways to evening it up, but I don't see how they would fix it. I think that what you're hoping is that the aggro decks will beat the Ultimatum decks, and then you'll play against the aggro decks with this sucker and destroy them. And we saw every type of creature deck that got thrown up against us, including Dimir Rogues, got absolutely massacred by the combination of Felidar Retreat, Showdown of the Skalds, or Toski. Like, one of these cards get you, because you can't keep the board completely clear. We have so many adventures, and we have so much card drawing, and we have so many small creatures. There's always something on the board, and then when one of these starts making them like an unignorable threat, it's just donezo. They're in too much trouble. So, do I recommend the deck? You have to be willing to lose to Ultimatum quite a bit. That is something that I have trouble with, and I'm sure many of you do. So, if you aren't willing to play like an 80, like, you're probably an 80-20 dog or worse in that matchup. And I don't think there's anything you can bring in. Like, this is something I've spent a lot of time in the recent format just going over. It's like, without blue, there's not really a good solution. You just have to be as aggressive as possible, hope you're on the play, and hope you can get the job done. One card that you may want to try that may impact that matchup is Brushfire Elemental. Because this deck is very good at hitting all of their land drops, but it doesn't have any haste threats. It can't rebuild and just get that last bit of damage in if the opponent wipes the board or stabilizes. But Brushfire can do it. And if you have Brushfire in your deck, you have a place to put those Showdown counters. You're going to hit most of your land drops anyway. You buff this up. I think that's worth a try. I think if you're going to substitute something out, it might be a few Giant Killers. That card is very good against a lot of decks, but is very slow and not very impactful against Ultimatum. I know you might hit a Yorion sometimes, but most of the time you just don't hit anything. So I believe in trying Brushfire Elemental for that matchup if that's what you care about most, and that's what I would do next with the deck. I don't think one-boarding or bringing anything over from the sideboard would particularly change it, but Brushfire on the play, maybe that gets you there. Anyway, that's my take on the deck for this one. Thank you very much to Jesse Samick for sharing your creation with the world and playing it in the Kaldheim Championship. I wish you luck in the event. It's being played right now. Not sure what the records are. And we'll have more decks from the MPL and other like superstars of Magic playing in the Kaldheim Championship, as well as the spicy ones, the people who brought the not rogues, you know what I mean, the crazy decks. We're going to try to cover the technology and the brews over the next several weeks as we prepare for the shakeup that is Strixhaven. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I'll see you in the next video. You're cool.